Hey friends, here are a few things to keep in mind this week and a couple of practices that I'd love for you to lean into as you have some conversation with your child. So this week, I want you to reflect a little bit on what you most give your attention to in the life of your home. Like, what are the unspoken most important things? What are the things that your family puts a ton of energy into? And more importantly, what are the things that your kids would say are the most important things to you? Like, is it a clean room? Is it good grades? Maybe you talk a lot in your home about obedience or respect. I don't know what that is in your home, but it would be good to notice. And I've noticed that over the years, the things that have become important to me, they've changed over time. And this is normal, but the reality is that as parents, we may not actually be aware of the things that we unknowingly are communicating to our kids that are important to us. But kids have a way of sort of picking up on the patterns of our intention. The things that we're always focusing on, our kids sort of grow in their awareness of. And 1 Corinthians 13 tells us that of all the things that are worthy of leaning into, of all the gifts that we could have, and all of the progress that we could make in the world, particularly in spiritual things, that the most important thing is love. And the question that I'm wanting to pose to parents, and it's a question that I have thought quite a bit about in my own formational journey and in my own journey as a parent, is this: what would it look like for me to give as much attention to nurturing the growth of love in my children as I give in nurturing many of the external things in their life, like sports or activities? And of course, love works differently than practicing basketball or studying for an exam. But I want to pay attention to the focus of my attention. So how much praise do you give your child when you notice your child operating in love, for example? How are we giving patience and kindness and nurturing God's invitation towards living a life of love as much or more attention with the focus of our attention as we are with our attention focused on the other things in their life, all of the scheduling and all of the grades and the homework and all of that stuff? And so this week, I want you to just focus a little bit on what you're paying most attention to in your interaction with your child. The work this week is to just pay attention to what you're paying attention to. And I want to invite you to spend some time this week in prayer, asking God to help you pay attention to the most important things. And perhaps maybe let some of the other stuff slide a bit. So spend some time this week just before bedtime helping your child review his or her day. Maybe try to pay particular attention to helping your child think about opportunities that they had in their day to love other people. So a couple of questions that you can consider. One would be this: where did you notice yourself loving today? You could ask that to your child. Or, what was your favorite way of loving someone today? Help your child pay attention to the moments where they've had an opportunity to love somebody. And there may be some times in your life together, maybe out running errands at the grocery store, where you are presented an opportunity to love someone together, you and your child together. And it would be good to sort of reflect on that. The last thing I want to encourage you to do is to read 1 Corinthians 13 once or twice this week out loud with your child. Maybe chat through the different aspects of love that we find in that passage. Explore with your child the idea that our love is shaped by practicing, not by striving. And we practice our way into loving, like we see in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, just like you would practice learning a new language or making omelets. God is inviting us to live a life of love through noticing and practicing love. And it takes some repetition and some practice. Okay, that's enough for this week. I look forward to seeing you here next week. Blessings to you.